Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Basically Sports. I am Faith Lynch, and today I have on one of my sweet friends, Skylar Zinnecker. She's on the soccer team and is a junior forward, and I'm so pumped that she's here today. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited. We can just hang out and talk about sports and all the things. So,
Sounds good.
Before we get started, tell us about yourself. Obviously on the soccer team, you're from the Dallas area, or from Austin. Yeah, tell us all about that.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Austin. Grew up there my whole life. Grew up playing soccer since I was 3 years old. Absolutely loved it. Been my sport since day one. Played club actually in San Antonio with Classic Elites. So kind of been all around, but fell in love here at Baylor. Been here since my freshman year where I graduated early to enroll here. Yeah. And I've loved it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Which also, random fact, both of our dads played college golf, which we figured out over the bowl game. Yeah. We were hanging out, and then whatever, we start talking. Our families are both there, and my dad was like, "Wait, Zinnecker?" I was like, "Yeah, Skylar. Like, she's my friend." He was like, "No, I know her dad." I was like, "Okay," because he played at TCU, and I played at Baylor.
Small world.
Yeah, so such a small world. Like, what are the odds? But okay, so you played in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Was that tough, or how did that?
Yeah, so I played at a really small club, and I had a great coach who actually I don't know if I'm gonna say. Yeah. But I played for a great coach, and our club actually got bought out by a larger ACNL club. Played with them and was moved up age group. Just wasn't fitting for me. COVID happened, and so we had tons of extra time on our hands. I wasn't in school, so my parents made the commitment and sacrificially to drive me to San Antonio literally 5 times a week. Wow. And it was the best decision I made for my soccer career. The girls were absolutely amazing, studs, and I had a great coach who had great connections. Who that's how I got here. Right. Yeah, so I loved it. I stayed there throughout my high school career, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I feel like is so much more common now in sports. We have a girl, Grace Carroll, she literally flew to practice every day. I was like, that's insane, just because you have to go where the best talent is, whether it's where you're living or in another city. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, I love Waco. It'd be so fun to live here, but the volleyball club maybe isn't as competitive as I would want it to be for my daughters. Yeah. So it's of course, later problems, but you think about those kind of things. You talked about graduating early. Mm-hmm. How was that for you? I did the same. I loved it, but I don't know, how was your experience with that?
Yeah. So obviously our coaching staff here was announced later in my recruiting process. Yeah. And just the other girls on my club team we were all starting to commit, and basically everyone who went Power 5 was all planning to graduate early, and that's what the schools had recommended. And other schools that I had talked to and were planning on even committing to before Baylor came in the picture recommended me to graduate early. Yeah. So that's absolutely my plan, and I'm so glad I did. It honestly gave me such a good head start on the fall, because for soccer, our report day is the Monday after July 4th usually. Okay. And that's 3.5 weeks before our first regular season game. Yeah. And only for 2, maybe a week and a half of those, we actually get to train with our staff. Yeah. So it's so hard to if you want playing time that freshman year, if you just come in the summer. Yeah. It's not impossible, but it helps so much. Yeah. To come early and know your playing style and coaching and especially if you're changing positions or just learning a different style of play. So
that's same for us. It's I only have so much time with my team. To have a whole nother 6 months would be great before you start season. And it's the whole am I gonna redshirt? Am I not gonna redshirt? Am I gonna fit with my team and team chemistry? Figuring out how to be in college for the first time ever. There's so much that comes with that. Straight into season. It just makes more sense and get to adjust. Let's talk about last season a little bit, which I just think my brain just can't comprehend that y'all tie. I just that's just gotta suck, to be honest. Being so competitive, I'm to tie anyways. But y'all went 2, 5, and 4 in conference. 5 of those were ties. Y'all had girls transfer in before season. This is her 3rd year with the team.
Last year was, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So going into her 4th, y'all's head coach. Walk us through some of those emotions of last season. Tying has got to be frustrating. I mean, if those are turning to wins, like totally different season for y'all, what does that look like?
I think we had a really good pre-conference. Like we were really confident going in. And I mean, ties are kind of just like what killed our standings this year, just because a tie is only 1 point versus a win is 3. And I mean, so you could win 1 game versus tie 2 and then have a loss, and like you're still better off with just the 1 win. Which again it's hard because some of those are good ties for us. Especially for like teams that were really competitive, even like going to the NCAA tournament. So it's like not all of those ties were bad, but it's just how we convert those into wins. And like for us, it was our scoring. Like we had to score more. Obviously, like, that's the point of the game, is to score more than the other team. But and I think that's just like our focus going into this fall. Like backline is really solid. Our 6 is solid. It's just like now being more dynamic up top and being more dangerous, like from all areas of the field.
Yeah. And is that something you feel like y'all have developed this spring? Like what is y'all's focus of, I feel like our team used to always have like, okay, this is what we're doing this spring. We're breaking everything down and rebuilding. Like what did that look like for y'all?
Yeah. So we actually got a new assistant from Houston, Fleur, and she's like our forwards position coach. So we had like a little bit of like changing within that. And our focus is like this spring is like being dynamic up top and kind of just reshaping like how we think of going forward versus like here are set things like we can do, just like being creative and like being dynamic and like just getting it done, which has been really fun because like practices are fun because like we're being creative, we're trying new things. You're playing with different players because we had 5 new girls come in, and a lot of them, most of them are in the front line or in the midfield, so they're combining with us, and it's so fun, honestly, and I'm really excited.
It's nice that your sport can kind of be fun again. You know, like I feel like that a lot of college athletes go through that of like mundane training, especially when you're not winning. You just are like, okay, this sucks, like what am I doing? But the fact that you're able to like have fun again and like learn something new, and that's great that you love y'all's assistant. That's awesome.
No, she's great. And she's just like, I mean, she's just like on it. Like she's like making us get it done, and she expects a lot from us, which like is what we need because like we can produce more than we have in the past 2 seasons for sure. And I think it's good to like have high expectations, like be held to like good standards and high standards, because like realistically, like that's where we want to be, is like setting the standard.
No, absolutely, because Baylor Soccer was good, you know, like in the past, and so I think volleyball kind of same thing of like you want to get back to that, like winning the Big 12, like being on the top. What do you want out of, like, y'all play tomorrow for spring game? That's so exciting. 7 p.m. home. Yeah, that's huge. What are you wanting to get out of the season personally, even into a little bit of like the spring season?
Spring, like obviously our games don't count for standings or anything. It's just purely for practice. So like tomorrow, instead of playing like 2:45s, I think we're playing 3:30s. Just so we get more time to like talk with our coaches versus like, because soccer we don't have timeouts, so you really have one time to talk to your coach. So that's kind of nice just because we get more time to like talk to our position coaches. And this spring honestly is like, the spring is really for personal development. So like we spend a lot of time with our position coaches, which is so nice because we're not having to work on like big picture ideas yet versus like going over a game model for like, or doing a scout. Like we won't do a scout for tomorrow's game, which is nice because we're really just focused like on ourselves. We're not worried about like adjusting our game model for who we're playing, which is so nice. And it's like that personal development is so nice because you get like individual time with coaches, like so nice.
You can just go and like play tomorrow. You know, you don't have to think about like, okay, we have to win, we have to scout, and you get to play someone that's not like yourself. You know, like you can like, okay, do competition. That's what I feel like is always so hard about spring or off season for athletes. It's like, okay, I'm playing against my teammate that I know like the back of my hand, and so how am I getting better in any sense, which you do, but it's more fun to play someone else. And, you know, I feel like football, it's always like, hey, I'm ready to hit someone else. You know, like we're not gonna hit anyone, but something similar to that. You're ready for something new. Which I feel like that's kind of our friendship started, was kind of through FCA, which is awesome. Just really sweet that we get to spend that time together of like different sports and whatnot. But you're now a leader, which is awesome. How has that been? And tell us just a little bit about that.
It's been awesome. Yeah. I mean, FCA has been like something that's so special here at Baylor to me. I got to like join 2 years ago. And just like be a member, and I was actually the first soccer girl for us who was like going, and it was just like the community aspect. And I tell this like what I tell my teammates to get them to come. I'm like, you get to meet other athletes and they get it. Like when you're in a small group, like they get it whenever you're saying like your frustrations with playing time or just like expectations for the season. Like when you're not winning, like it stinks. So it's so nice to like have people who like they understand and they're going through it, and or maybe they've already gone through it. There's older people, there's younger people. So just like that community of like guys, girls, it's just so good. I feel like to get out of like your bubble of just like your own team who's like going through the same grind, which is so nice.
Yeah, no, it's been really sweet. And like we probably wouldn't have been as good of friends if it wasn't for FCA, and even like a couple like of our other friends in the equestrian team and track, like that just would not have happened. And it is like they do get it, you know, like it's one thing to go and like vent to your teammates who you're with all the time and you're probably living with. So like that's tough. And so you're like, I see you all the time. I need to talk to someone else. Let me go to FCA. Let's switch it up. But yeah, they do get it. And that's what like I fell in love with FCA as well, is the older girls on my team that were seniors when I was a freshman. They dragged me into it. So then I got to meet all of their senior friends. And I was like, okay, y'all are like grown women about to go into the real world who have just had a great 4-year career. Like, help me, like tell me what I need to know of how to like do this like a D1 athlete thing. So yeah, no, that's really great. But we did this last time with Ty. We're kind of just run through like some of your favorite things and just some, like a little bit about you, nothing that's sport related at all. Your favorite movie?
Mamma Mia 2 or Grease. I'm a musical girl.
Really? I didn't know that. Wait, that's awesome.
I love, and I don't know, like favorite like comfort movies to like watch again and again.
Really?
Yes.
That's so
love
funny.
it.
That's awesome. Favorite music that like you always listen to, or like a favorite song that you have right now?
I listen to a lot of country. Like really that's basically all I listen to. Because I'm like hip hop, rap, like that's like locker room or like lifting specific. So like I can't listen to it in the car because I'm getting like adrenaline. So I listen to a ton of country. Love Zach Top that we were talking about before. Trying to think. I just saw somebody recently.
Saw John Party.
Yes.
Parker McCollum was here.
Love him. Just saw Co Wetzel in Austin.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like a fun, different, like country rock. But love live music. Being from Austin, like love it.
Yeah, that's so true. I didn't think of that because y'all have like ACL and fun. Favorite food?
Love Mexican food.
Yeah.
That's
me too.
By far.
It's always so funny when like we have the California girls in our team. They're like, "Oh, let's go get Mexican food." I'm like, "You're about to be so disappointed because we have Tex-Mex."
Yes.
And your Mexican is so different than ours. I'm the same way. Favorite athlete like growing up that you got to watch maybe?
Oh, okay.
And then your current as well.
I feel like younger me would be like Alex Morgan, like national team player, forward, like cute girl, just like all the things. For sure, Alex Morgan. I feel like she was like in just that whole national team from like 2013, 2015 era where it was like women's sports are like actually taking off, especially like soccer realm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like was so cool to watch and like them just like kill it every year. Currently, I would have to say. I love all of the new girls on the national team, like all of those young girls that they're calling up. I think the new coach is doing a great job of like bringing youth into the program, which like we were lacking there for a minute. So I would say like any of like the new young girls who are on this like World Cup team.
Was it like Sophia Smith? When I was in Oregon, I watched her live, like right before the Olympics, which was insane. And I didn't have like a soccer appreciation then, so everyone's like Sophia Smith, and I was like, cool. Okay, what? But obviously, like her playing at Stanford, her short stint, and then, she's insane.
No, they're all so fun, and they're so like creative, and I mean now there's so many opportunities. So like you can play here in the States, so you can go like WPSL, like Super League now, or like so many girls like are now signing for overseas.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. It has been really sweet to see like women's sports grow. Even volleyball, like we've had so many different leagues develop in the US. People are still going overseas. Like women's sports is growing.
Yeah.
So it's fun to be kind of in it when it's like happening. You're like, I'm a part of this, you know, like
for
this
sure
is happening around me, and getting to see that. But thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, this was so fun. Yeah, excited to watch y'all tomorrow and see all the pieces come together. But until next time, this is Faith Lynch with Basically Sports.